One second, I'm laughing at something funny online, the next, there are tears landing on my cheeks. I try to quickly wipe them away, but my dad, who is sitting opposite me, notices and asks if I'm okay. "Not really," I reply. "We're in the middle of a pub quiz, but I use the break between rounds to have a quick scroll on Facebook." A video of a lorry running over cattle appeared on my feed. I feel the animal's pain in my chest, and wonder why we don't treat animals with the respect they deserve. A switch instantly flicks within me. That was 7 years ago, and I've not touched any meat or animal products since. I began to learn more about our mistreatment of animals, and how we don't need animal produce to thrive. In fact, quite the opposite, my skin and energy levels are far better now. Veganism led to an interest in sustainability too, and how my choices impact the planet. I watch documentaries and read articles, and learned how humans are destroying the planet with consumerism, plastic and over-farming. It's causing a climate crisis, and the Earth is not going to survive for long if we don't change our ways. I became a woman on a mission, filling myself up to brim with all the knowledge. I'm a perfectionist, so I took things to the extreme, and wouldn't buy anything that couldn't be recycled. I owned a dance school, and sometimes I'd work really long days. If I didn't have enough food with me, I'd rather go hungry than get a supermarket snack that wasn't fully recyclable. I'd feel so much guilt eating a bag of crisps that it wasn't worth it. I started making a massive batch of snacks, like granola bars, on a Sunday, to eat during the week, to try to avoid these issues. I started traveling on an electric scooter, and only used public transport if the journey was too long. I'd now like an electric car, but that requires some saving up. Feeling the pressure at first, I assumed that if people knew what I knew, then they would behave in the exact same way. I would lecture friends and family about their meat consumption and lack of sustainability, and even found myself getting into arguments. People began to avoid me. It got so intense, it began to affect my mental health. Just thinking about the planet made me teary. I was stressing myself out trying to be the perfect human, which is an impossible task. I realized I had to strike some kind of balance, and focus on what I can do to cause the least negative impact, rather than always thinking about what I'm not doing or can't control. Sadly, my dad got ill in 2020, and while he was dying, we had lots of deep conversations about my future. He could see how passionate I was about the planet and encouraged me to pursue it in my career. I loved teaching dance, but I didn't see myself doing that forever, so I used my savings to open Blackpool's first zero-waste eco-store, Undo. Customers bring their own containers, or buy ones that can be reused forever, and fill them up with food, drinks, toiletries and cleaning products. There's no unnecessary packaging. It gave me such a strong sense of purpose that I started to be easier on myself, and I have learned how to have more positive conversations with loved ones. The business has grown and we're now moving to a more central location, as well as focusing on the online shop so people can benefit nationwide. Like-minded in love. When I was selected for Married at First Sight UK in 2022, I told the producers that my wife didn't have to live exactly like me, but did need to be open to learning about my choices. That isn't exactly what I got. I went on the show for love, but being able to get a bigger platform to promote causes close to my heart was a bonus. Zoe Clifton was waiting for me at the end of the aisle. She was very strong-minded. As I'm very different from her, she automatically felt judged and got super defensive. Luckily, we connected on other things and realized it was worth working on our relationship. We are at a point now where we can have more open discussions, but Zoe still refuses to learn about the extent of animal cruelty, as I think she knows that will convert her forever. Zoe did Veganuary this year, and since then, she eats vegan 50% of the time. The big problem for her is giving up cheese. Vegan food has come a long way, even since I began my journey, so I've got faith the cheese options will improve soon. One thing I will say is, even before meeting me, she had an excellent recycling system. I was impressed with how seriously she took the bins. I found that so attractive. Zoe wants a family, but I'm very aware of how overpopulated the earth is, and don't really want to contribute to that. I also worry what kind of world we'd bring them into, but we're able to have open conversations about my worries, which I really value. I still sometimes feel powerless in the grand scheme of things, which is overwhelming. True change needs to come from world leaders, government policies and big companies, but I try to do my bit. I share information with my 125,000 Instagram followers, and I've got involved with PETA campaigns. I do get a lot more visitors to my store since being on TV, but unfortunately, a lot of them are fans who want a selfie, not customers. But I know I'm doing my best, and that's all any of us can do. How to approach eco-conversations with others. Let people approach you, don't force your views on anyone. If someone is interested in veganism and sustainability, they'll come to me. That's always a far more productive conversation. Don't be judgmental. I have to remind myself that 7 years ago, I wasn't making the lifestyle choices I do today. I'm an unusual case in that I went from one extreme to the other, but most people make slow and steady changes. Be gentle. Scare tactics have a negative effect. Someone may compliment my skin, and I'll reply that when I stopped eating dairy I noticed I got fewer spots and a glowier complexion. I won't instantly tell them all the other reasons behind my choice. Praise the small changes. I've noticed the people around me making small changes, such as my mom, who now eats very little meat and will always have oat milk in the fridge. It's a ripple effect. I let them know how much I appreciate it, which encourages them to do more.
Now take